Well then, this isn't necessarily something new, but we talked about the idea that atomic number is how periodic table is arranged by increasing atomic number. Atomic number is what? The number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. That's the atomic number. I need to throw a few other things in at you. We use the variable z for atomic number. I don't know why that is. I should look that up one of these days. It kind of seems German to me. So atomic number is z. Just so you know, sometimes my z's actually end up looking like, to kind of differentiate them from 2's, I draw a line through them. So that's my z, like Z Nation. I don't know. So z is atomic number, number of protons. I also want to throw this at you. The charge we said for protons is positively charged. And for, how do I say this? It has the same magnitude. One proton has the same magnitude but an opposite sign as electrons. Okay, so that actually is the same magnitude, just opposite sign. And an important thing is that if within an atom, if you have the same number of protons and the same number of electrons, then actually the charges cancel out, so we say that the atom is neutral. So as long as we have a neutral atom, okay, then that means that the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons, right? So I'm going to pick on lithium again. A little bit ago we said that lithium has 3 protons in its nucleus. It has to. And now we know if it's neutral, it also has 3 electrons in the cloud outside of its nucleus, if it's neutral. Okay? Now here's another thing I need to talk about, an important sort of kind of bean counting that we do in chemistry. This idea of counting, sometimes in physics they call them nucleons, but in counting the protons and the neutrons in the nucleus, we add those together, okay, we add them together, and that will give you the mass number. Okay. The symbol for mass number, don't blame me, and again, I don't know if it's German or not, but the symbol for mass number is A. So in other words, A, mass number, is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Can you see where the mass number is always going to be a whole number? Does that make sense? Because you're counting, okay? Now a little bit ago I kind of picked on lithium. I kind of did this. I put my 3 protons and then I went ahead and added, I think maybe it was already there for me, I added 3 neutrons. So can you see where we can knock out the mass number for this particular atom of lithium, and it looks like this: 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 is the mass number for that particular atom of lithium. Okay, so you're counting particles. So atomic number, remember that's the number of protons, and that number of protons says what element an atom is. I used to say what element an atom will be when it grows up. No. What element an atom is dictated by the number of protons in its nucleus. Okay, so in other words, all atoms of the same element will have the same atomic number. To go ahead and continue that thought, atoms of different elements will have different atomic numbers. Atoms of different elements will have different numbers of protons in their nuclei. That makes sense. Okay, so that's the that's the Z. Okay, Z. Okay, now mass number, you don't say the same thing. Mass number is not unique for a particular element. So atoms of the same element can have different mass numbers. And I'm here to tell you, and we're going to talk about it in the next part here, that the way that works is they'll have the same element, so they have the same number of protons. Here we go. Let me go ahead and do it this way. So mass number, which is A, seems like it should be Z, but mass number is A. It's the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So if I said that this has to stay the same, guess what can vary? The number of neutrons, exactly. And in a minute I'm going to talk about, as it varies, that gives you what we call isotopes. right? So atoms of different elements, check this out, can have the same mass number. And the way they do that is they're different elements, so they have different number of protons, but kind of the neutrons that also go into making up the mass number will vary to kind of make it up and give it the same number. All right, so take a look at these problems related to atomic number and mass number.